Good evening, friends. Subba ma'am, audible? Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, friends. Professor Brahm Singh Horticulture Foundation, BSHF, a not-for-profit organization, and myself welcome you all to the talk number 2 of this series, 4H, which stands for Urban Horticulture for Health and Happiness. BSHF is thankful to Bear Shemnis to sponsor this webinar series. I welcome co-organizer Dr. Pritam Kalia, ICR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Awardee, and former head Division of Vegetable Science, ICAR-IARI New Delhi. The talk this evening is on avenues and opportunities in floriculture and landscape gardening by Dr. S.S. Sindhu, Head Division of Floriculture and Landscaping and Coordinator, School of Horticulture, ICAR-IARI, New Delhi. We welcome Dr. S.S. Sindhu, who honored our request to deliver the webinar. Friends, in urban horticulture, importance of floriculture and landscape gardening can hardly be overemphasized, as urban horticulture for a layman is only this. In fact, floriculture dealing with flowers is one of the horticulture subjects, others being fruits, vegetable, medicinal aromatic plants, spices, plantation crop, and secondary agriculture, and some more. All are getting importance now in urban horticulture, which would be covered in this series and to certain extent in this webinar series, particular webinar. Rapid urbanization, shrinking land, and other resources for agriculture or horticulture have necessitated urban horticulture. Not only urban phyto-beautification, that is what the floriculture and ornamental horticulture we talk about, but urban fresh food farming, having advantage of production in or near the place of consumption, besides being fresh, rich in nutrition, mostly organic, and free of pesticide, with minimal transportation cost and time. Today, Dr. S.S. Sindhu would educate us on urban floriculture and landscape as lucrative enterprise, beside being a source of improving environment, surroundings, aesthetics at home, workplaces, and public places. With rich experience on the subject, Dr. S.S. Sindhu is going to share his vast experience on the subject. He is known in Delhi horticulture establishment, which are many in the state government, municipal corporation, central government, besides several NGOs and agri-horticulture universities in India in addition to Delhi. Friends, questions can be raised which will be answered after the talk. Now I request my colleague Dr. Pritam Kalia to introduce Dr. S.S. Sindhu, the speaker this evening.
Okay, sir. Very good evening. Most respected founder, chairman of BSHF, Professor Brahm Singh ji, and today's speaker, Dr. S.S. Sindhu, Head Division of Floriculture and Landscape Gardening at IARI, and Coordinator School of Horticultural Sciences in the same institute. It's our pleasure to have him as speaker to talk about floriculture and landscape gardening's avenues and opportunities, which is very pertinent subject as far as the urban horticulture is concerned, especially from metropolitan cities point of view. There is a lot of uh, air pollution and other various problems due to congregation of people in urban cities. Therefore, the floriculture and other ornamental plants have tremendous role to play in purifying air, as well as increasing the aesthetic value of various spaces and homes, as well as also the indoor gardening, which also purify airs inside. So that's why it's important. And Dr. Sindhu has mastery in this. He's expert in this area, and it would be nice for us and to the viewers who would be attending from various quarters, like farmers, entrepreneurs, city dwellers. They would be looking forward for the very exhaustive and wonderful presentation that Dr. Sindhu is going to make and suggest various options as far as the ornamental plants is concerned to beautify and make the living area as a wonderful area. Dr. Sindhu, who has had his who has who has who comes from a village called as Jaisingpura in Karnal district, has his undergraduation and post graduation from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, and he had his doctorate from Haryana Agriculture University, and presently he is heading the division of floriculture landscaping at IARI, where he has been doing a lot of research work in different areas, as he has widened the sphere of research in the department, and also has guided 15 postgraduate students, and has 150 publication to his credit, with the wide and long 32 years of experience, wherein 12 years he has spent on administrative experiences. Besides, Dr. Sindhu also had a stint in between as a coordinator of School of Horticulture Sciences, where he has to coordinate amongst different divisions of horticulture, especially division of vegetable science, division of floriculture and landscaping, and division of fruit sciences, post-harvest technology and food sciences, protected cultivation center. So that's how he has very different skills to coordinate with different entities within the institute, and also look into the R&D sector projects across the division, and synthesize the research outcomes from different sections of horticulture, and present before different bodies who try to analyze and address the different issues and significant achievements coming from different divisions in horticulture as a whole. Dr. Sindhu has had 3 years stint right from 1998 to 2001 as a director of horticulture in Rashtrapati Bhavan, where he has been involved in management and administration of 3 presidents' gardens situated at Delhi, Hyderabad, and Shimla, and also that where he has been attending towards landscaping and maintenance of large chunk of land from the point of view of major nurseries, orchards management, greenhouses, and golf course, etc. So that's how he has a wide experience of management activities. And also he had been project coordinator of Floriculture, All India Coordinator Research Project of ICR from 2009 to 2010. The management activities, as has been detailed before, he has very many to his credit. And Dr. Sindhu has contributed significantly towards entrepreneurial development and livelihood building through self-help groups and farmer producer organizations among farmer communities. He has developed 15 varieties in different flower crops and several technologies, production technologies, and he has expertise in different areas, especially commercial horticulture, landscaping, protected cultivation, to enhance farmers' incomes through floriculture and HRD. Dr. Sindhu has had many awards to his credit, and someone worth mentioning are Anna Saheb P. Shinde National Leaders Freedom Fighters Memorial Award, and then a DHS Gold Medal for contribution in R&D of horticulture, and Lotus Puruskar for outstanding work in ornamental horticulture, Dr. H.B. Singh Award for popularization and improvement of Bougainvillea. He has, to his credit, the Fellowship of Academy of Horticulture Science of India, which is presently called as Indian Academy of Horticulture Sciences. And he has also various honors and recognitions to his credit, serving as member of various national bodies and state level bodies. In some societies, he has been secretary, especially for Indian Society of Ornamental Horticulture and Bougainvillea Society of India, and he is the vice president of Rose Society of India. And besides that, he has exposure to various different countries like Japan, USA, Canada, China, Pakistan, and Nepal. So with this wide experience in this sector, in horticulture as a whole and floriculture in specific, it's our honor that we would like to hear, and the viewers who have been gathered on this platform would be anxious to listen to him. Therefore, not taking much time between the speaker and the viewers, I would invite Dr. Sindhu to please take the floor and uh, give his talk.
Subham? Subham, I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
you are
yes, we
audible.
are audible. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. First of all, let me extend my very sincere thanks to Professor Bram Singh Horticulture Foundation for giving me this opportunity to speak on this evening on the very outset and very beginning of the series of the urban horticulture. And I am privileged and honored that I have been given this opportunity by the Professor Bram Singh ji. And at the same time, again, I extend and I place on record very sincere thanks to my senior colleague, Dr. Pritam Kalia, who has been my predecessor as a school coordinator of horticulture at ICAR-IARI and head of the division of vegetable science at the same institute, for a very elaborated introduction. Thank you very much, sir. And let's straightway, I am going to start my introduction. And but before that, just let me place a few words of welcome to my all the audience available on behind the screen. I am not able to see their video, but I welcome my all, maybe my colleagues, maybe some of my students, MSc PhD student, and some senior colleagues may also be listening and watching this particular of web series, and my dear brothers and sisters and the gardens amateurs, those who love the horticulture and the gardening at the top priority, based at Delhi or the situated here and there in the throughout the country. So it's my great honor and privilege to speak on the urban horticulture series. So my talk will not be in vegetable and the fruits. I will be restricted my this kind of a presentation, especially under this series, particularly on this floriculture and floriculture and landscape gardening. So as you know well that urban horticulture we are talking here and there, urban horticulture, peri-urban horticulture, pre-नगरीय क्षेत्रों में किस प्रकार की सब्जियां उगाएं, किस टाइप के फल उगाएं, किस टाइप से हम एनवायरनमेंट को सुधारें. So we are talking here and there and we are listening in the press and media and TV and watching lot of videos and kind of the activity. But it's a very, very important topic, and urban horticulture is only the way forward and way of the life. And now majority of the people, they are also moving and shifting from the rural area to the urban cities. And urban means that we already know very well that urban means maybe a very close to city and maybe a small city or maybe a block or maybe a kind of tahsil, maybe a district or even maybe a metro city like Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta and Bengaluru kind of metropolitan city. So survival in such a metro city is very, very difficult because we have to arrange so many things. We have to not only arrange the food and our livelihood, but at the same time we are also supposed to create such an environment where we can breathe smoothly. So that kind of all together it comes to the urban horticulture and how we keep our surrounding, how we keep our garden green and clean to breathe smoothly. So there are a lot of scopes in the this floriculture and landscape architecture, and particularly in the urban landscape. So the first most is the floriculture. Under the floriculture, we have a very large chunk of the cut flowers. We are exporting and even sometimes we are importing also, like orchid and few other flowers, bird of paradise and even BOP and some other kind of protea, particularly coming from the Australia. Sometimes we are also importing some cut flowers which are not being grown in our country, but we are able to grow all kind of the cut flowers very successfully, even in the open field condition as well as in the greenhouse condition. So for our own consumption as well as for the export. And the second most important activity and avenues in floriculture is the loose flower. So where we can have a different kind of loose flower, we can grow for our livelihood, maybe for commercial or maybe for our own use. So another third one is the important activity where we can make a dent so that we can export and we can earn a good handsome a foreign exchange through exporting the seed of the high value flowers. Then pulp tray and seedlings, so ready-made seedlings we can grow and we can sell to our nearby places or within the city and within the urban areas. This is again a very big business. And then value addition and post harvest management, again very, very very handsome and very lucrative business, where we can have everybody is well aware with the Kanoj and even the many other Haldi Ghati, Pushkar, these kind of places where this Kanoj is very well known for this glucose. And recently in the news also there was one trader, and he was very famous and he was dealing with the this kind of oil extraction. FFDC Institute is also located there and they are helping the people and the farmers and to promote with the oil extraction from the roses. So at the same time we can also have some kind of a self-help group or some kind of a small industry or maybe NGO or maybe even FPO to making the glucose and potpourris different kind of perfumes from the this roses. Particularly in Udaipur district, Haldighati also there are one or two this FPOs recently working on this particular aspects. Then ornamental plant nursery, again very big business, and you know that everyone is looking for a good kind of a quality plants, and here and there you see there are a lot of nurseries, but still many more are needed. Then landscape development and maintenance, again a very very big business and big opportunity, where we can earn many more this name and fame, and even at the same time we can also earn our livelihood through this business. So as on date, if we go back and if we realize and if we just have a look, that we do not have the qualified person dealing with this landscape business and the maintenance part, and undergraduate or metric fail or middle pass or even illiterate people are doing a very handsome business, but there is a shortage of the qualified person, particularly the degree holder, some MSc and BSc agriculture, and even the some other qualified person. I don't know why they are not coming, though they are coming, but not at that same pace. And even though Government of India and the ICR has also some of the projects like RN, how to attract the young youth toward the agriculture and toward the horticulture, that's again a very big question before us. And we are do not have much of the opportunity in the kind of the government job. So ultimately we should also look forward for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we should look forward for not only for getting the job, even we should develop such an entrepreneurial kind of activity where we should not become a job seeker. We should become self independent, and we should become the job provider. So these kind of things and these kind of thoughts are required nowadays to make our this country self-reliant. So as far as the benefit are concerned of the floriculture business, it's not only the earning the money, it's a social welfare. Ultimately it's a social welfare. We will be doing some great service to the society if we are growing flower and we are dealing with the flower business by beautifying the surrounding and making the environment less green. Then it's a learning process for the young generation, no doubt about it. It's again self-sufficient and self-study and self-learning process for the young generations to come into this business and to learn more and more from horticulture and floriculture. Then economic development, definitely it also have a very good economic footing and doubling farmer income. Uh, this particular mission is going on the Government of India, and by the end of this 2022, that doubling of the farmer income is our the target of the government. And the all the ICAR Institute and the other Department of Horticulture and Agriculture, they are putting a lot of efforts, and new technology, new seeds, new varieties are being providing to the farmers. And definitely there is a target to have the doubling the farmer income. And the horticulture is one of the area where the doubling of the farmer income, particularly in the floriculture, it's very very easy. Not only even doubling, even the 5 times, 4 times, 6 times, even we can earn some 3 times, 4 times better than by growing the wheat and rice in a particular unit area. So environmental benefit again very very important, and we are adding to the environment to bring down the air pollution, and particularly to bring down the air quality index also. Then aesthetic benefit, again it provide aesthetic look, and ultimately it enhance our value of the properties and provide a very good aesthetic look. So wildlife and ecosystem is the another benefit otherwise. So enhance tourism, naturally this horticulture and floriculture landscaping enhance a lot of business, and protect natural resources, definitely. So if we go for kind of some turf grass plantation or tree plantation or shrub plantation, then definitely we can protect our natural resources, which are being otherwise being degraded day by day because of the excessive rain, because of the some climatic resilient problems are we are facing. Then floriculture business, again listed here, that in case of the loose flower, you have the different kind of loose flower which we are dealing with. The marigold is well known, and in marigold lot of good number of variety have been evolved by IARI, and this chrysanthemum, annual chrysanthemum, Crocendra, again in the southern part of the country, good Crocendra are being grown in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Then tuberose, jasmine, gilardia, these are the flower which can be grown for the loose flower, and we can earn per unit area higher than the other field crops. Then cut flower and foliage, again roses, carnation, chrysanthemum, gerbera, lilium, these are the even gladiolus. These are the suitable crops, particularly for the northern part of the country. But at the same time, we can also grow orchid and anthurium in the northern eastern part, as well as in the Kerala and Andhra Pradesh part of the Andhra Pradesh also. So these are the some of the flowers which are very location specific, and these can be grown in the tropical part of the country. Then plant nursery, again the plant nurseries has a very big business, and thousands of nurseries are located in the country. But still we need their accreditation, and we need their systematic approach in multiplication of the planting material and the sale out and their sale methods, and kind of the protection of their plants and the insurance kind of. There are several problems associated with the nursery. Those are needs to be so as to be taken care of, and but no doubt, undoubtedly, it has a very lucrative business in the plant nursery. Then landscape design and development. This is again very most important and very lucrative business. And but for this particular job, particularly in landscape design and development, we need some basic training, some basic exposure to the some of our AutoCAD and 2D, 3D, and different CAD programs, and how to implement and how to draw. Earlier there were some draftsman positions were there in the various department of horticulture, in the local department, maybe CPWD, NDMC, or some municipal corporation. But nowadays those positions have gone away, and now everyone is doing this CAD programming and CAD design. We are preparing and putting to the client, and then we are executing on the ground. Then rental services, again this is also one of the another way forward, where we can have some opportunity to have the rental services. We can provide our plants on a rent, and we can earn a rent. At the same way we are giving our this properties, house, our shops, and our offices on rent. So same way we can also earn by giving this trees on a rental services. Then value addition, already I have spoken much about the value addition. So we can go for some rose water, rose oil, and extraction of the natural colors and dyes, even from the marigold and different kind of the flowers. So maybe even crocendra and different kind of colored flower particularly. Then protected cultivation, you must be hearing in the various occasion from Professor Brahm Singh that he is a key person in the protected, and known for the founder of this protected cultivation, right from the Leh Ladakh to the plain. And this particular protected cultivation, this business has become very popular, and we can go for protected cultivation of flowers and vegetables, and even some of the fruits also. So in protected cultivation also, we have some naturally ventilated greenhouse. Normally those are being even been subsidies also being given on such kind of constructions, maybe a ventilated or maybe a multi-span type, any kind of greenhouse you can go accordingly. And these are the some of the pictures being shown here, how to prepare your bed. So this is very important, how to prepare your block of the greenhouse. So first you must go for a proper plowing with the rotavator, and then after treatment with the nematicide and the fungicide and insecticide, we should go for preparation of the beds. Beds should not be more than 2 feet wide, and it should be little raised from 30 centimeter to 45 centimeter, and there should be some passage to walk around, as well as the excess water through the drip irrigation can come down. So this is the method of preparing the beds. As far as the need of the protective cultivation is concerned, it is all because of our shrinking land and the rapid industrialization and the population explosion. Because of all those reasons, we are bound to go for a diversification. So diversification is not only our requirement, even it is our compulsion. So ultimately we have to go, we have not left with no other options. So ultimately, how to get a more income from a limited area of a land. So as mentioned in the introductory remarks by Dr. Pritam Kalia, that we are shrinking of the resources. So definitely how to make the best use of those resources and how to get more from that area. That is our question mark, and a big question mark, rather. So then we can go for some high value vegetable, high value flowers. So rose is also comes under high value flowers. Even lilium is also there. So we can make a different combination, how to grow, when to grow, and we can prepare a rotation cycle, and even we can add on vegetable, tomato and capsicum also in between the cycle of the protected cultivation of flowers. Then there are some of the varieties being shown here. These are some of the outstanding variety normally being grown in the protected cultivation in greenhouse. First red, Grand Gala and this Golden Gate. These are the very award-winning variety being grown inside the protected cultivation in greenhouse. Ravel, Hollywood, and these are again some of the outstanding varieties. These are all royalty paid variety and being imported from Netherlands. And these are first this Grand Gala and first red. These are 15-year-old variety, and we can go for production even without paying the royalty particularly. And but at the same time, the IRI has also made several efforts to compete with this export exotic type of variety, and these are some of the variety being shown here and listed here. We can also grow these kind of variety of our own variety. This Pusa Gaurav, Raktima, Pusa Bahadur, Pusa Pitambar, and Mother Teresa. These are also performing very good inside the greenhouse. This is the first red you are seeing here in the picture. This is being grown in the net house. These are some of the other pictures of the roses being released from IARI only. Then chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is also equally important, and we can go for vegetative by mean of vegetative softwood cutting. We can prepare a lot of planting material, and it's initial investment is low comparatively as compared to roses and the lilium. One can go for this chrysanthemum cultivation in open as well as in the protected cultivation with low investment and moderately some higher income. So likewise, we can go for softwood cutting from the mother plant, and we can use some Rootex, IBA, Saradex and Rootex, and lot of other trade names are also there. But ultimately, it is IBA, indole butyric acid. And we can treat the lower end, and we can put in the media, and media can be prepared in the ratio of 2:1:1. Cocopeat, perlite, and vermiculite, and this is the ideal stage which we can take away from the tray, and we can go for planting. So likewise, during the rainy season, May, June is the very ideal time when we can start this propagation from the mother plant of the chrysanthemum rooted cutting, and at the most August, September we should go for planting. So likewise, as I have earlier mentioned, that rotavator is the most ideal equipment which we can use to prepare to plow your land inside the greenhouse. In the greenhouse, normally what we do, we open from the one side, and then tractor can enter inside. And during the May, June, when there is extreme summer, at that time normally for 1 month or so, normally we put this greenhouse open and without any crop, and that is the best time when we can treat the entire greenhouse with proper plowing and treatment with the fungicide and nematicide. Then we can go for plantation, likewise maybe a vegetable, even maybe a chrysanthemum, or maybe any other crops. This is the net which you are seeing here. This is a plastic net of size of 15 into 15 centimeter, and this net is recommended in case of chrysanthemum as well as in carnation also, so that we need not to stake the individual plant at later on. Otherwise it will add lot of investment and lot of labor. So likewise these nets, we take it up right from the bottom, and likewise we can put it, and we take it proportionately to the height of the plant, and finally ultimately this your flowering will come, and then without any problem you can stack your plant, each plant, and it can be easily harvested, and you can take away to the market. So this net is again shown here in the snowball group. This is a white variety, and this is again Jamla variety. Normally the Jamla and Thaichin Kyun, these are the variety which can be grown even during the summer time, May and June, even April, May, June. So chrysanthemum is normally do flower during the winter only, and it's a short day plant, and it's photosensitive, and until unless it will not get short day condition, it will not flower. But there are certain variety like Jamla and this Thaichin Queen, some variety which normally can even they are not photo insensitive, and they are photo insensitive and can flower during the April, May, during the hot summer even. We can also grow in the open, as you see in the picture. This chrysanthemums can be grown in the open also. The snowball group, yellow one, and there are many other roses. This chrysanthemum we have at our farm, and this is again Thaichin Queen picture are being shown here in this slide, and it is off-season cultivation during May. Then Gerbera is again a very good candidate crop for protected cultivation, and it is very, very ideal for Pune condition and even Uttarakhand and this Himachal as well. But up to some extent, we can also grow under daily condition. But in daily condition, it needs some more attention, particularly during the rainy season, and it's sensitive to excessive rain, and it's sensitive to micronutrient deficiency, and at the same time very sensitive to insect, pest, and mites. So these are the three major burning problems related to the Gerbera cultivation, particularly in the NCR region, particularly in Delhi and surrounding in the NCR. So if you can able to handle these three problems, then you can grow successfully Gerbera, otherwise not. Then let's come to the gladulus. Gladulus is again very, very potential crop, and many farmers are growing. Even earlier it was restricted to summer, this winter season only, but you can grow even during summer also by providing some shade, maybe along with the sugar cane, or maybe along with the some kind of maize crop, and even you can prolong and you can postpone your flowering also. In this picture, this crop has been preponed, and it is planted before the October. October is the ideal time of planting, but you will put in the October and November, then you will go in the glut market, and you will not get the better prices. If you put little early, maybe September, and by using this mulch and drip irrigation system, so your crop will be 20 days to 1 month early, and bulb production will be very healthy, and you will not face any kind of a problem of the weeds, and you will get the comparatively the better spike, and ultimately you will get the better price. So these are the small things which needs to be taken care of. Then elastomeria is again very important crop, and but it is nowadays restricted to hilly region for Uttarakhand and Himachal. So this elastomeria has been recently introduced by Himachal Pradesh government, and we are also working on the production technology, and some breeding part we are taking care of at our regional station, Katrain. So these are the different color, different variety. Aladdin is a very well-known variety. Aladdin and this Pluto, these are the some of the outstanding variety. But the beauty of this particular crop is that once you harvest once, again it will come. Again, 2-3 times you can have multi-cut like Barsim. So this is the beauty of this particular crop, and this is a bulbous crops. And efforts are being made to cultivate and to standardize the production technology under NCR region, also Delhi condition, plain region. But so far, this cultivation is only restricted to hilly region. So this is the crop again. This with this. Then come down to the floriculture. This lilium. Lilium is again very lucrative and very high value crop. Earlier, it cultivation was only restricted to Himachal and this Kulu Manali and Jammu Kashmir, only under the temperate region. But efforts have been made, and long back I started this work on this lilium particularly. This is my favorite crop, and my major work is on lilium. And still we are working on this particular crop on breeding aspects particularly, and the production technology. So earlier the Asiatic lily was very famous, but nowadays this LA hybrid is also available in the market, and these LA hybrids gives the better price because it is very sturdy in the spike and very sturdy the petals and the buds, so you can get a better price in the market. So it's a very high value flower, and there are very good success story of this lilium, and it is one is in Bhimtal, another is in this Sonipat Murthal, Mr. Ravinder Daya, and another is the Mr. Ajay Daya at Gurgaon. So only limited growers are there, and they have very good price in the market, and there is no glut particularly in this particular crop. So we are doing a lot of efforts, and by making this production technology available to the farmers, how to multiply the bulb. The bulb multiplication and storage is a very challenging task, and this is the one picture of our research farm of IARI that we are dealing with this particular crop, and how to make the high density planting and the production, and when to plant, when to harvest. So all those questions are a big challenge before us. So there is a great demand in the market of this particular crop, and only the production of the bulbs is a very challenging. But we are using different kind of methods and bulb scale culture and tissue culture even. We are doing it, and efforts hopefully will return definitely with a successful. And ISBT Palampur has also put up a lot of efforts on this particular crop, and they are producing the high quality planting material under Leh Ladakh condition, because the temperature is very low, and the photosynthetic activity and bulb size that gets a very good quality under Leh Ladakh condition. And a lot of this self-help group have been developed over there with the coordination with our Katran station. Then tissue culture is again a big business for the urban horticulture. So where we can start our business within a limited area, and we can expand further for this tissue culture laboratory, particularly plantation, maybe for horticulture crops and even the floriculture crops, and to multiply the planting material within a limited area. A large number of billions of plants can be propagated through tissue culture, and further we can go for hardening and preparing a nursery, and then supplying to the even septophyllum, peace lily, and this carnation and this lilium. So likewise gerbera is again very suitable. Carnation again very suitable for this through tissue culture. Then roses again very important and known for a king of the flower, and we have a very limited nursery dealing with the roses. Even we are getting a lot of calls from abroad and within the country how to get a quality rosy and from where to get. So even we are not able to provide the self-sufficient quantity of the roses to the public. We are also used to supply some limited quantity based on the individual's requirement. But we need some nurserymen or some young entrepreneurs, those who can come to establish the rose nursery in a big way. So this is one of the some example. Just I am showing that one of the SR company based at Pune. So they are doing, and they are doing stenting. So rose is normally being propagated either through cutting or through budding. So doing budding is a very technical job, and it's not so easy. But stenting is one of the very easiest and very short time technique. Stenting means you can take sign and stalk and just join and then wrap it and just put in the cocoa peat, and it will be ready within no time, within 3 months time. Budding takes 1 year together. If we'll do bud during this season, January, February, now we are doing, and these plants will be made available during the coming November. So almost it takes 9 months together. This is the cocoa peat. Normally, this media which we are using, substrate. So everybody is well aware with this cocoa peat. And then again, some high-tech nursery. It's again very, very important. And this irrigation boom, and along with all kind of automatic system of irrigation and this electricity and kind of this operation, it's again very, very important. And we can go for some kind of nursery establishment, and it's a very again big business, and it can be even started with a small area, maybe some 500 square yard of a plot. And even it is being covered in the MIDS, as well as the National Horticulture Board is also promoting all kind of activity. So this kind of activity can be started. And nutrition garden, again very, very important with regard to the vegetable, and at the same time we can also grow some flowers in between. Then carnation. Again, the Himachal Pradesh is known as the state of carnation and very leading, and quality production are being done in the Chail area and the other part of Palampur area, Kangra area. So this is also again very, very important crop which can be grown successfully and which can fetch a very better price in the farmer field. So then tuberose is normally being shown in the summer, and it can also be grown in the open. And even we can go for concrete extraction from the tuberose, single and double. There are two type of tuberose, and there are different kind of variety, Provisional and Vaibhav, and this Rajat Rekha, Sound Rekha. These are the quite old variety from NBRI Lucknow. So likewise, we can go for some loose flower production, as I have mentioned earlier, that rose, apart from the Desi rose, we can go for marigold. In marigold, we have a number of variety. This Pusa Narangi Genda, Pusa Basanti, Pusa Deep, Pusa Bahar, and this Pusa Arpita. And two more recently, we have sent a proposal. So then fresh seedling. Again, there is a huge demand of the fresh seedling. It is not being made available to majority of our garden amateurs and our brother and sister, those who are staying in the multi-storied houses and even in their independent houses. They also need this seedling time to time, season to season, but very limited person are dealing with this seedling business. And that quality is again become paramount to take the decision how to buy, for where to buy. These are the various kind of questions comes in the mind. So this is again a very, very good business where we can come forward and we can look forward for raising the nursery based on the season. Then seed production. Again, seed production has a great challenge and opportunity as well, and several avenues for our young brother and sisters and young generation particularly. So there are certain flowers which do not set the seed under daily condition because of the high temperature. Right from starting from March onward, it start rising and it touches up to 45 and 47 degree of temperature. But at the same time, this salvia, cinderia, pangy, petunia, these kind dimorphica, so these are the ice plant. These are the some of the high value flowers. Even stalk, these can be taken to this hilly region, and we can go for some seed production activity at Kulu Manali, or even the, high altitude, and this Bhimtal area and Dehradun side and kind of things. So we have very limited player in this seed production business. This is again very lucrative. Let's come to down to this apart from the floriculture, and we are taking little or more time. Then comes to the landscaping. Landscaping again very important, where we can have some kind of training, and we can start our landscaping business by putting our some investment in the landscaping and employing some trained staff down the line, and we can go for lawn development, we can go for tree plantation, we can go for hedge plantation, and we have a different kind of opportunity in the landscaping. Nursery business, I told earlier that this lot of nurseries are there in our country, and lot of employment are being generated through the nursery, and even we have a lot of nursery which are more than even 100-year-old. So, and these nursery are scattered, and these nurseries are established in throughout the country, and the major the nursery areas are, one is the Pune, known for flowering pots. Almost all the flowering pots comes from Pune, and this even some off-season pots of the flowers also comes from this Kanchi area of Nainital. Then Bangalore is known for indoor plants. Calcutta known for palms and cycad. Kadiyam, Rajamundri district, right from this in Andhra Pradesh, normally that Visakhapatnam area, that the timber and ready-made again plants normally being grown. There are thousands of nursery in the Kadiyam. And then Gadganga area, very close to Delhi, and Gajrola and Muradabad side, that near to Gad, where the water level is very high, and we have an opportunity that lands become almost saturated throughout the even summer also. That's why a lot of good plants are coming there. And then in Delhi, we have Mehroli is the dominated area of the nursery normally, that Fatehpur, Sikri, Berry, and this area normally. This is a look of this nursery, different kind of ground covers, asparagus, sphelia, and euphorbia, and different other flowers are there. Different ground covers are available, and we can go for this chlorophytum and different ready-made trees and kind of things. We have a very acute shortage of the ready-made trees available in Delhi, and even the tapuri, good kind of tapuri, are not available. But if you go to that Kadiyam area, that's again, even the polybag they used to grow, and they used to supply, and everyday basis some thousands of truckload are being exporting these plants to the different part of the country. And these are all area are very closely as located at Godavari district, and Godavari river used to cross near to that area. So they used to grow, and lot of employment generation are there. And then roses, I was talking about the roses. Very few growers are there, those who dealing with the roses. Very limited number normally, that people do not have much of this quality planting material in roses. Then Poinsettia again, it's a short plant, and it needs to regulate the photoperiodism. So this Poinsettia also needs some blackout and short day to provide the short day condition, so that these leaves can convert into a red color and red brackets. So normally these all Poinsettia and kind of things are being during December are being brought down to Pune to Delhi, and being sold at a very high prices during this Christmas Day and this Republic Day. And the orchid, yes, orchid, though it is only restricted to northeast and the Kerala side, but there are some orchids like Sonia White, Sonia Red. These are being successfully grown in Noida, and there are some growers in here also. And even Gujarat, Navsari area, again, this Sonia variety are being successfully grown. Then foliage plants, yes, we can go for some indoor foliage plants propagation kind of activity where we can earn, and even we can sell it out, these kind of product online on order basis. Then cactus and succulents, this is the picture which I took from Rashtrapati Bhavan, and then at that time Professor Bram Singh was taking care of the Rashtrapati Bhavan as OSD horticulture. At that time, this kind of greenhouse was constructed, and lot of quality this echinocactus grusonii and different kind of grafted cactus. It was taken from Bhubaneswar to this place, and this also have some kind of are in demand, and normally very few people are love to cactus, but there are the people, those who really have the some affection and kind of activity they are doing in cactus. There is a cactus and succulent society in Delhi also, in Punjabi Bagh. They normally have the flower show and cactus show during the April. Maybe during this, due to COVID and all, may not be possible maybe this year, but every year they used to do this kind of activity. Then kind of a different kind of imported plant, and this pachira you might have seen at the airport. It is being displayed, and it is twisted, and stem are being prepared like this, and these are all being imported from Thailand and China, but we can also prepare these kind of plants, and we can get some better prices. So nursery people, they have some kind of a problem, but at the same time they have very good lucrative business. Then site selection is again very, very important. Transport, yes, we have some problems. Land, labor and water, it must be there. Then skill manpower, climate, sale tax, yes, sometimes these problems comes, but not the income tax. It is free from this any kind of tax, these plants. Landscaping, it's include planning. First, the planning is very, very important. Then designing, how to design your garden, how to design that site, how to design an airport, and how to execute it. Then development, execution part, and then maintenance. These are the different phases of the landscaping. How to trim the sides, and how to trim the hedges and kind of gardens, how to maintain, how to trim, then how to make this your side and roadside lush green, and with the ground cover. So again, these pictures are being shown here with the small trimming and small minor operation become very, very important to make your area lush green. And at the same time, how much water is required, then cleaning of your passage, path. So these are again very, very important. At the same time, nowadays there are a lot of apartment and housing society are located in Delhi as well as in the other part of the country, maybe Bombay, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore even. So these are also need some good parking, good park, good landscaping, and good this kind of different herbs and different climate. So we can go for different kind of tapiori, even animal tapiori. Again, it also attract the childrens and even our old people. They also love to have this kind of tapiori structures. So at the same time, some rocky area can also be designed suitably, and we can design like this. And Dr. Bhattacharya is being seen here in the picture, our senior colleague, our teacher. So we can design some rocky area in a Japanese style of gardening. Whatever is available, you intact that rocks, you intact that area without disturbing the basic topography of the land. So this should be the theme, and this should be the prime your objective, without disturbing the basic topography. So you make the existing structures green, and to attract and to put in between some of the plants which have a low water requirement and a low maintenance, maybe Furcaria, maybe Euphorbia, maybe bamboo, and maybe Bougainvillea. So these maybe Thivetia, and this kind of these plants you can select and you can add on that. Then this is again the interior landscape or outdoor or interior or indoor landscape of any building by drawing this your CAD program, fern and this grassing and tiles and hard landscape and soft landscape. It's a combination of hard and soft landscape. This is an again aerial view of the Mughal garden that is known as Rashtrapati Bhavan garden. Long back I took picture this end, but it is saved luckily. So we have this mulberry and then Shri cypress, and this mulberry is a sign of friendship, and this Shri cypress is a sign of enemy. So one should be alert from the enemy at the same time. We trust our own friend, own friendship, but at the same time we should also alert from the enemy. So this kind of the plants have some symbolic, some meaning. So then again some view of the courtyard, how to design, how to make the CAD and combination of hard and soft landscape. So after making that your CAD programming, 3D, 2D, then we can go for an execution. Even some park and garden and water bodies, even it is again very important in the residential area where a large number of population is residing, and in a society kind of things, if there are some water bodies or pond area, that renovation and maintenance is again very important by putting some grasses and putting some hard landscape in between. So this is again very important for evening walk and morning walk for the people residing in that area. And these all gardens and parks are being taken care of by the local department. It may belong to MCD and it may belong to DDA or CPW. That depends normally. That bigger garden normally deals with this DDA, and small gardens are being taken care of by the MCD in Delhi particularly. But in the other cities, the municipal corporation or even the panchayat can also develop this kind of garden for our people residing in and around. Then Bougainvillea is again very important. We can go for tapiary cultivation, tapiary making like this of at 2 feet height. These are called standard Bougainvillea. So likewise we can do as in roses. So likewise we can go in Bougainvillea also to have the standard type of trees, maybe at 2 meter height, maybe at 1 meter height, depending upon the requirement. So these are the some of the Bougainvillea and landscaping of Ramoji Film City, very close to Hyderabad. So how to make this ground cover look beautiful, and then pergola and arches again very important. In the garden you must be observing that this is the pergola, and different kind of climbers you watch over there, maybe Thunbergia, maybe a Bougainvillea, maybe some Prestigia and known as golden sour. Then rooftop garden, terrace garden, again dry wall. These are again very important. But for Delhi, normally the roof garden is more important. Those who are residing at the top floor, they have the right to go on the rooftop. Their rights are there, and they can maintain the rooftop garden by making the roof and the lush green and putting some shallow rooted plants. Then terrace garden also we can have where the terraces are available. So when you go for this Mehroli area and even Delhi University area also, you will find different kind of a terrace, Kamla Nehru Ridge and all kind of things. Then likewise dry wall can also be converted into a green. So this is again individual group arrangement are being shown here at the airport. And then yes, this particular shop is being shown here in the picture. And yesterday also we were discussing with some of our senior colleague of horticulture, and they were mentioning, sir, And nowadays, very limited shops are there. Where we can buy some seeds and bulbs and different kind of garden tools. So really, there is a acute shortage of such kind of service provider also. So one can come forward in this sector also, and one can have some good kind of a soap where under single umbrella one can buy the seeds, or one can buy even the garden tools as per their requirement. Maybe in Noida, maybe at Mehroli, maybe Gurgaon, maybe in the central part of the Delhi, or maybe Ghaziabad or Hapur or the surrounding of this Nagloi side, or whatever it is, wherever it is possible. So we should come forward, and we can give them some kind of a training, what to retain, what not to, and what are the requirement nowadays. So this is also one area where we have to think upon. Then tapiori, animal tapiori, animal and human being tapiori, and different kind of structures, different kind of courtyard. So with the low maintenance, we can go for. Then pot plants and their maintenance is again very required. Then flowering plants, again some kind of seasonal flowers. So normally we grow a lot of flowers during winter season, because our summer are so harsh and temperature is very high. We not able to grow all kind of flowers, but flowers need some moderate temperature, and a very ideal temperature 20 to 25. And during this winter only we can grow lot of flowers, even dahlia and different potted plant, which normally you are observing and seeing in the different flowers. This again standard kind of chrysanthemum being shown here in the picture. Then potted plant, petunia or hanging basket, again very important, particularly those who are residing in an independent house. And even for those who are residing in the apartment also, they can also have some one or two tapiori in their veranda or maybe balcony. So these kind of things are really again required. Then bougainvillea, just to have a look to the different kind of the colors and different varieties, just I'm putting this picture. So we have the Bougainvillea garden here at IARI, and Bougainvillea International Center is also here. We have the Bougainvillea repository, and maintaining more than 100 variety. And we are planning and to have kind of some visit or some flower show on Bougainvillea during the last week of March, near to after the Holi. But because of some, due to this last 2-3 year prevailing situation of COVID, we are not able to do. But our those who love to Bougainvillea, they are always welcome. They can visit this place, and we can show them to the garden, and they can also have some good plants and named variety we are maintaining. Then bonsai again, and then grafting is also again very important in Bougainvillea. Nowadays, we are putting our efforts and research efforts particularly on grafting, mutation, polyploidy, and this dwarf bougainvillea, particularly the potted plant bougainvillea. Then pergola, again, bougainvillea can be used and can be trained in multifarious ways and means. Then Mary Palmer, again, very famous variety, multicolor. Then we can go for fence bougainvillea and cascading effect from the top to the bottom or the ground to the top. So either way, so bougainvillea can be trained, and bougainvillea has a multiple kind of utility. We can go for even central verge plantation, and you are seeing here in the mounds and different kind of central verge area. Then trees, again, very important to add the color and the beauty and the aesthetic value in our city. So these can also be propagated, and these can also be added in our day-to-day aesthetic value to enhance the value of the city, as well as to have the different kind of and as far as the training and the HRD, human resource development, is concerned, we have limited options, but at the same time, different state agriculture university have the independent department, and this time some 5 to 7 horticulture university are there in the country, and they have independent department in the floriculture, and some old institute, particularly the IARI and this IHBT in Palampur have the research institute, and Palampur, and then Solan again. But these are offering the degree in BSc and MSc, and IRI exclusively only providing the PG degree only. But at the same time, there are some other options where we can have some human resource training and development. So this IGNU has also just started some diploma after +2. I was also a part of that for making their course curriculum activity prepared, and it is available online. And nowadays they are offering 6-month diploma, 1 year, 2-year diploma even. Then HTI Karnal, they are also giving the diploma, 1-year diploma after +2. HTI Karnal, State Horticulture Department at Karnal, they are offering. NDMC in New Delhi, Purana Kila Road, they are giving some training. School of Gardening is there. And then hands-on learning program are available in ICAR system and State Agriculture University also. IRI, no doubt that we are also offering training and the degree also to the MSc and PhD degree in floriculture and landscaping. But at the same time, we are also giving some kind of a training to the master trainers, maybe for state government and even maybe for local horticulture department officers, even for Malis also. Even during COVID also, we have conducted 3 batches of training program for Malis of Rashtrapati Bhavan, and they were so happy and they were delighted to have the hands-on training and the kind of a classroom training. And nowadays some private institution has also come up, and even the lovely university at Punjab and the Amity University at Noida and even SGS University at Gurgaon, they are also offering BSc Horticulture and BSc AG. So kind of a training, and even some private organization is also there, those who are giving some training at Noida and other places. But to promote the overall urban horticulture, there are schemes and there are multiple schemes. But I will just draw your attention only towards the one is the MIDH, and this is Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. This is known as NHM. It's a center sector scheme, and the subsidy is being given from the center to the state, and state is giving the subsequent subsidy to the growers and entrepreneurs, those who are really interested to do some floriculture business and to establish some greenhouse or kind of nursery or some tissue culture laboratory. And that subsidy varies from 50% to 80%. Even if you go to the northeast, you will get 80%. Even in micro irrigation system, you will get 80%. But if you talk for Haryana, it's 60-65%. So minimum is 50 and maximum 80. Normally you can go for like this. Then National Horticulture Board is again engaged and providing back-ended subsidy, and they are also giving 30% to 50% subsidy, but that is back-ended. First you have to establish your project with the prior approval of the NHB by taking the loan from the bank. Then NHB will give back that subsidy to your bank directly in your account, and then your liability will come down to up to a certain level, and then balance of that you have to pay to the bank, or equivalent amount will become zero. So your liability in the bank will remain zero. So these are, but apart from that, other than the MIDH and NHB, there are various other schemes are also there available with the government of India. Say for example RKVY and different kind of self-help group, and kind of some package are available with the state government also to promote the horticulture, and particularly this urban horticulture, to make the people self-sufficient in the field of horticulture. So with these words, dear audience, I thank you all for your patience hearing and giving me the opportunity to speak on this evening. And thank you especially to the Professor Brahm Singh Horticulture Foundation and Dr. Kalia to coordinate this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. S.S. Sindhu, for this beautiful journey to floriculture confined to the urban areas, indicating more than expected opportunities for one and all. I request Dr. Pritam Kalia just briefly highlight,
Yes.
because it's a vast subject, but only
Yeah.
briefly 4 or 5 points kindly.
Okay, sir. I think we have had a nice journey, as Professor Burns mentioned, into the floriculture landscaping. And as we have initially uh, indicated that we wouldn't have a person other than Dr. Sindhu to take into this journey because he had a wide experience of working at different places from the developmental point of view, which is very important aspect, especially in case of floriculture. And here he has, which is very important, as we say, avenues and opportunities, which is very important aspect that he has very nicely detailed different flower types, different areas of floriculture that has avenues for people to go into. And also, of course, he has mentioned that there are drawbacks from HRD, from educated person's point of view. It's still perceived as the illiterate person's job, but it's not like that. There is a lot of potential. Still, there is a lot of potential beyond thinking that the floriculture has. From the industrial development point of view, those aspects which Dr. Sindhu hasn't highlighted, but hidden potential. He has, of course, mentioned a lot of untapped areas which are there, but especially from the general point of view, that we find that floriculture helps in in the first instance, we look at the plants and we get happiness. So the happiness, the major objective of this webinar series we have is to how to have a happiness amongst our persons, health and happiness. So mainly happiness, the floriculture ornamental plants gives us a lot of happiness. As a result, a lot of the hormones which gets released from our brain and go down the in the body, it gives a healthy body from all angles point of view, which is very important. There is no I mean, it's invaluable sort of thing. You cannot value it, how much the health you get from it. So that's why it's very important. And from avenues point of view, that it creates a lot of livelihood for small and marginal and commercial businessmen, as also he has indicated. There is a lot of opportunities from smallest to smallest. From that point of view, as we see in urban areas, in cities, and the a lot of high sky rise building are there, and people want to make their balconies, their rooms more attractive because of this. And a lot of opportunities have ushered for a lot of these gardeners and indoor plants. There is a huge business coming up, and we see in, especially in case of, you see in Gurgaon itself, every 500 meter you have nursery. Every 500-meter distance there is a nursery nowadays. And there is a lot of these gardeners are visiting home. They are providing the home service, which is very lucrative thing that has increased a lot of job opportunities for these peoples who, and also a lot of florists who have opened their shops in every nook and corner of the city. So once you move out of your house, you find the florist is sitting there. You can have flowers for birthday parties, or when you are going to somebody's house, you take flowers. That is a lot of opportunities and availability for amateur lovers of flowers, and also amateur gardeners. And the opportunities in business also in detail, Dr. Sindhu has highlighted. I don't want to go into detail, but there is sky is the limit from the opportunities point of view. Of course, the opportunities from industrial development point of view has not highlighted, but because the fragrance is there in the infrared, some of the opportunities he has highlighted from rose, that you can extract, make a lot of like glucon and rose water sort of thing. But in almost all flowers, you can extract fragrance also. which can be made available. It's there. There is a lot of business in Uttar Pradesh itself, in Kanauj area also. Dr. Sindhu has mentioned, and from that point of view, a lot of opportunities are still there that people can go in for business based on ornamental plants, floricultural plants, and the nurseries. Availability of the plants from the nurseries is increasing, which is a good sign. And in detail, how to establish nurseries, how you can make plant production at a customized rates, and make available to the customers at a lower price, which is important. And also he has in detail in protected cultivation, how you can grow good flowers. If that's a commercial business also in the far-flung areas, from market gardening point of view, you can grow the plants in protected cultivation in naturally ventilated greenhouses or net houses, like in hills. He has mentioned carnation and gerbera, beautiful plants in rose also. A beautiful picture Dr. Sindhu has, I think, taken the viewers on a ride to the tourism also. He has mentioned in the beginning, but itself he has taken on tour to different flowers and different types of nurseries. And besides that some of the crops like the chrysanthemum, he has mentioned short day plants, but now the varieties have also been developed which can help you get plants, photoinsensitive varieties during summer season. So the availability period also, the scientist has contributed greatly how to increase the availability of flowers throughout the year. Also, of course, by producing flowers in different areas also, due to varied environmental condition, people are doing this. But at one place also you can do, if you manipulate a different type of varieties and new types of plants also. He has mentioned like Alstomeria, Lilium, different types of LA hybrids he has mentioned, which were quite good to see at. He has detailedly mentioned about the bulb multiplication, their storage, that sort of thing from the producer point of view has been given in detail. And high-tech nursery also he has mentioned, which is very good, where you can produce millions of plants. And for promotion of such thing, National Horticulture Board does a lot of service to those entrepreneurs who want to go ahead in this business forward. And also he has taken towards the Marigold technology disseminated that ICAR-IARI has done. ICAR-IARI has developed very good varieties of Marigold, and he has very nicely mentioned how they have been taken to the farmers field. And the beautiful thing with respect to Marigold is that you need flowers all the time, and there are different varieties which are of which the availability is at different times, as you need these flowers for worship, for various function every now and then. And also that Marigold is good from nutraceutical extraction point of view. So that's very important aspect from business point of view and industrial development point of view. And besides the flowers, he has also taken us towards landscape development, and a lot of pictures he has shown from around the country, how to develop lawn, hedges, topiary, different type of topiaries also he has given. So those who have not been aware of, they might have had a good opportunity to see different types of plants and know what are of these kinds and how they can be used at different places. He has shown different pictures from Rashtrapati Bhavan, and then also potted plants like Pachira he has mentioned. And then a landscaping picture, a lot of landscaping picture he has mentioned, in which the principle important is that you have to do proper planning, designing, development, and maintenance. And from the rocky areas, how they can be beautified by using different type of material, because low cost material which doesn't need much of water, those sort of plant material can be local plant material which survive in those areas, can be used for that purpose. And then also for courtyard landscaping, hard and soft landscape, how you can manage it to do these things. And then parks and gardens he has shown, which are beautiful, of course, which are mainly being maintained by the government bodies, but people can have small in their own area if you have your own koti type of sort of thing, and societies also can afford to have small areas like this, which he has explained very nicely. And above all, the roof garden, terrace garden, and drywall thing, they are beautiful ones, because in cities who are living in high rise buildings, they need those sort of things, how they can be done, and how you can get better opportunity to look into plenty of things. And above all, the Bougainvillea, which he has mentioned, and the IRI is the center for Bougainvillea, and a lot of varieties they have at IARI, which he has mentioned that they are doing some research in development of dwarf varieties, grafting, and mutation aspects they are carrying on in that Bougainvillea, and they who hold a lot of festivals, and especially as he has mentioned that during April or March or April they conduct this Bougainvillea show. Although he has not mentioned, but the Floriculture division of IRE also conduct flower show or horticulture show during February or beginning of March, which is a attraction to many Delhi dwellers who always look forward when this Delhi Horticulture Society conducts that floriculture the show to showcase all technologies of horticulture crops, but main focus is on flowers. And also he has gone towards telling that where the people are want to going in for diploma and degree, where are the opportunity, where are the institutions which are doing that sort of service to the entrepreneurs or to the needy, so that he has mentioned in detail. And also with respect to the government promotion schemes, which is also very lucrative aspect. If somebody wants to go, they want to know how they can go ahead. So there are a lot of schemes, 15 schemes that Dr. Sindhu has mentioned, where from people can look forward for different types of sort of how to get money, especially to get into to that sort of business, which is very important. And he has mentioned that in different states there are a lot of subsidies which are being provided, so which can help the new entrepreneurs to get into this business. I think we have had from all angle. This was a wonderful talk that we have had. Real happiness driving, which ultimately improves our health and also livelihood security to larger section of population. With that, I thank the speaker, Dr. Sindhu, very much for nice presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kalia, for refreshing what all Dr. Sindhu has told. I'm sure viewer must have been wondering how vast this subject is and how in-depth knowledge Dr. S.S. Sindhu has got with his capabilities. Such a vast subject. He has covered almost most of the things in this lecture, though he had touched upon. But that is indicative of the scope of this particular subject. And this is one part of urban horticulture, the floriculture or landscape, what we have talked or covered today with the help of Dr. S. Sindhu. There is a vast scope for that, and this only one part has got so much opportunities and avenues which he has highlighted as per the topic. I think innumerable one. Some of the important one only he has covered. It's not possible to cover all in 1 hour lecture, but it has got immense opportunities. And the only the good thing which I want to emphasize upon is the nursery. These nurseries in your urban areas. I think they have to play the key role. Luckily, we have got Indian Nurseryman Association, and I think its head office is there in Delhi only, and they are doing a good job. But we want to help them to do the good job, and they themselves have to exert much to extend this service to the people because they are in great demand. Until unless we have got a good material, means plant or flower or a seedling or seed, whatever we talk about, we can't proceed further. And what he has talked about, I want to further emphasize, rather re-emphasize, that the nurseries kindly go for soil-less medium and switch on as far as possible to the micro-propagated material, particularly the foliage and others, or vegetatively propagated one. That will add value to this, the quality of the plant material we have got. My friend from Ladakh, attending the webinar, requested that, rightly requested, that if you want to have the quality seed production of ornamental plants, particularly the annuals, kindly go to Ladakh. The best quality seed you can produce there, those who are interested in, they can have it and make it available to the urban areas in the country where they are in great demand, whether in the form of seed as such or seedlings or some other form, whatever the different innovations are there. So I think I'm thankful to Dr. S.S. Sindhu to highlight the avenues and opportunities. Day in, day out, we are talking about in agriculture, this thing is lacking, that thing is lacking. But see the opportunity here, only the one part of that urban horticulture, what a opportunity, what a opportunity. Starting from individual home to the big business, the entire gamut, you can get involved into this floriculture itself. What to talk about the other aspect which we will be covering in other webinars. So I'm sure people will think over and make their surroundings better by practicing the floriculture, having foliage and flower plants. And the important aspect with Dr. Sindhu somehow I think escaped his attention, the indoor plants. And among the indoor plants also, the thing which is in great demand these days because of this pandemic, the oxygen producing indoor plants. So every house should have those plants such as areca nut, sansevieria, and others. Number of them are there. One can have the indoor plant and have the oxygen supply, which is much needed in these days. Otherwise also in urban areas we require a lot of oxygen for the inhabitants. So with these words, once again I thank profusely to Dr. S.S. Sindhu for an elaborate talk, and my colleague Dr. Kalia, who has highlighted most of the things which Dr. Sindhu has covered. And I am thankful to the service provider also, and we will meet again Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. with I think a talk on perhaps protected cultivation by Bayer, if I am not wrong. Yes, protected cultivation in India by Bayer. Speaker is Shivananda. So let us wait and see next. We meet again on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Till then, goodbye. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Thank
Good
you, sir.
night.
Thank you one and all. Thank you one and all, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye.